Yeah, it is.
The 0304 Cobra is a fantastic car.
Great platform for.
I mean, could you imagine going to the dealership saying you wanted to buy a 2003 Mustang GT, and the salesman was like, "You gotta drive the Cobra." How in the world would you leave there with a GT?
Right?
That had to be the easiest upsell in Ford history. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're bringing you some more Cobra content. And this is the stockest, quietest Cobra that we've ever had on the channel, or in the shop really. It's kind of windy out today. It's really nice though. It's like 52 or 53 out right now. But we're windy, so disregard any wind noise. But I mean, this thing is a stock as stock can be. I don't think there's any, aside from the tires, I don't think there's any other modifications done to it though, is there?
No, it's got like some little elbow for the air filter that goes to the fender.
Yeah, that's like hardly even an upgrade. So before we start taking this for a ride, or before we start tearing it apart, there's a long list of things we're going to be doing to it. Pretty much everything minus a blower swap and a full fuel system, I think, sums it up pretty quickly. And but we got to go drive it. I mean, we never really driven a Cobra this factory. So we're going to go take it around the block. We're going to take you guys with us, give you our thoughts on how it drives and what's wrong with it right off the bat, in our opinion. And just gonna be a quick video to introduce the next Cobra project. We have another one coming in this week also. So for all you guys who follow us for the Cobra content, good news for you. We have a lot of that going on. We're gonna have a lot of Mustang stuff going on this month.
Hopefully the New York car gets on the dyno too.
Yes. That'd be nice. Well, you wanna drive first? Sure. Oh, first impressions?
What is up with that? This clutch cable is nuts.
It's not good at all.
I feel like, yeah.
It's not going to be easy to drive with that clutch cable. Clutch cable throw bearing combo, trash. Clutch 2, we're going to be doing that. So that's our first impression right away. When I started to put on the trailer, I said the same thing. The clutch cable is garbage, and/or clutch throw out bearing retainer sleeve. All that stuff's probably garbage. Just age without being driven. That's what happens. The license plate on this thing expired in 15, and then you re-registered for a new plate. So we have a temp. You can see it in the back window right above my head here. So we are legal. And we cleaned the engine bay. It looks like the PCV was leaking out of the elbow. So it's got a good amount of oil on the valve cover. Traction control, we don't know what that's like. Clutch is garbage.
Terrible. The clutch pedal feels so bad. But it's nice and smooth otherwise.
I mean, factory cars drive nice until we mess them up. It's in pretty good shape. The paint needs some work. You know, it's a little rough, getting beat up from being in storage and stuff like that.
Being in the garage.
Yeah, being in the garage. What tires are on this thing?
Until 5, looks like.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty quiet.
The car?
The tires. Oh, the car's super quiet. You can hear all the interior imperfections.
Quadrant adjuster.
Cable.
Yeah.
Throw bearing, billet sleeve, 26 spline, RST clutch. I hope we don't sound as excited as we used to about those modifications, because they're still really exciting, but it's just kind of funny that it's just a standard now.
Too, yeah.
It's like, these are all the things that it needs. It just needs it. So, and he's already on board with that. So that you know, that the whole clutch throw-out bearing situation, you know, just like a lot of you guys who contact us to work on your cars via YouTube have fallen in love with the New York car, Charlie's car, Dan's Cobra. I mean, every Cobra we do is pretty similar, and you know, it's like kind of what we think is the best of both worlds for having a street car that can drag race and autocross and whatever. but he said the same thing. He eventually wants to get to a VMP E85 car. And we've had a couple of those on the channel, and Dan's is going to be another one, unless he decides to go Whipple.
The clutch is so bad.
Yeah. Like barely get it in and out of gears.
It's like the blower's so quiet. Wow, this hood moves a lot. It needs to adjust the bumpers. He is dancing around like crazy. A little bit of wheel hop at the top of first.
Yeah, it was a little spinning too.
It was definitely spinning, but it was kind of.
Yeah.
It goes loading and unloading.
I made this all the power and shit.
Yeah.
Versus New York car when we first drove it.
Right.
New York car was down like 4 pounds, which we later seem to have found out that it was bad cats. Seems to be at least.
What kind of boost did it make?
I would say it was like about 8. It's like right where.
Doesn't feel nearly as violent as we like them, but it is factory stock. So for a factory stock car, it's pretty good.
It's like a little baby blower noise.
Yeah, a little bit. But if you had an exhaust on it, you wouldn't hear it.
No. Oh, he wants to do a pulley anyways. That'll get it a little louder. And the overall ride's nice. It seems to be staying rather cool.
Well, he said it has a lower thermostat in it. So we're pretty pumped about this. Pretty much factory Cobra coming in and leaving as a, I'm going to call it a typical Cobra. You know, that it's like the baseline of what you should have if you're going to start modifying it. We're going to cover all the bases from pulley Metco idlers to the full tilt boogie, you know, kit at the back. Pretty much everything in between there without getting too crazy as far, you know, we're not going to put level 5 half shafts or anything that's out of the ordinary. You know, when a client brings us a car, we try to kind of bring all the levels up together. Yeah. We don't really want to max out the horsepower of the car when we haven't addressed any of the other features. So we would rather somebody distribute their investment into their race car or street car. God, that clutch has got to go. Call me crazy, I like how quiet it is. But going back to what we were saying, before somebody puts their investment in their race car or the street car, like this one was been in storage for multiple years. He wants to reignite his love for it by doing what he's wanted to do with it for so long that it's been in storage.
He's owned it since like new.
Yeah, he bought it with like 200 miles on it. Like 4 days after the guy who did buy it bought it and didn't want it anymore because he scared him. So, which just sounds so funny. But anyway, he scared it, so he bought it, and it's been sitting around. He drove it a lot, drove 40,000 miles and put it in storage. It hasn't been driven. So we're going to do like fluids, we got to do all the basic general updates also. But when somebody tells us, hey, I want to put X amount of money into my car, we don't want to say, hey, you got $10,000, let's put a blower on it. Let's put a huge Whipple on it, and then everything else is shit. You know, we would much rather put some money in the, you know, in the blower, some in the rear suspension, put some frame connectors on it, you know, address obviously the main issues that Fox Buddies have when you're going to start modifying them, whether it's down the road you want to do something serious or, you know, up front. And then from that platform, that's when you can really start building off of it. You know, so that's what this is going to be, and we'll call it
all the tiers.
Yeah, we can really call it like a stage 1 across the board. You know, you'll have a good differential base to go off of. You know, your next upgrade in the rear end might be half shafts and a, you know, an aftermarket posi unit. But you know that all the bushings are done, all the control arms are solid, all the cross axis joints are good. You're not going to get wheel hop. So the next thing you might do is adjustable shocks and those hard driveline components. Then in the front end, you know, you can only go so far with the Eaton blower, so you might as well use it to its potential while you spend the money elsewhere. And then maybe put a fuel system on it so you can support that horsepower with consistency. And then you're ready to just strap that big blower on it when you're ready, and everything else in the car's already been done. So like I said, we try to keep it up to come up in tiers. And that's what we're gonna do on this thing. All right, I wanna drive.
Yep.
My turn. So quiet, listen to this thing. Rev it up.
I'll go that way.
All the way to the floor.
I think you gotta be super gingerly.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Like, I had a stock clutch in my car. Yeah, it was tough. Like it's Cobra clutches are known to be, stock ones at least, are known to be pretty strong in terms of having to push the pedal how hard. But the way this one feels, not feel anything like mine. I mean, granted, I had a quadrant and a cable and all that.
I feel like this cable will leave us stranded if we drove it far. Like it's just gonna snap something.
Yeah, right.
I feel like the throttle response is so much worse when they're untuned. You can't like just like blip the throttle. Like yours is like woo! As soon as you blip it.
Right.
This does not do that. My ST is considerably louder than this one.
Yeah.
Question is, will it slide? This is a great car.
Yeah, it is.
The 0304 Cobra is a fantastic car.
Great platform for.
I mean, could you imagine going to the dealership saying you wanted to buy a 2003 Mustang GT, and the salesman was like, "You got to drive the Cobra." How in the world would you leave there with a GT?
Right.
That had to be the easiest upsell in Ford history.